This is my General T. This is my 1972 Jaguar that is Corvette powered. Let me show you. As you can tell, it's making a lot more horsies than it did originally. It's got full custom wiring, a full custom interior, and today we're gonna be putting on flipping NASCAR boom tubes. Yeah, that's right. And you better believe it, and you better stay to the end of the video. I see tons of YouTubers go on Facebook Marketplace and buy them. No. Today, we're gonna be building them from scratch. And we're gonna be replacing my rinky-dinky rusty side pipes. It's gonna be badass. All right, well, the first course of action is to remove these suckers. So let's get to it. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Okay, so there's 3 bolts at this flange to remove the side pipe. And if you aren't familiar with my exhaust system, I am running out of my headers into an X pipe down into my mufflers for sleeper mode. And then I have it branching out into my electric cutouts, which then go to my side pipes, which will be the new boom tubes. So let's get this pipe off. Okay, hold on. What size is it? Come on. Oh, there we go. Gotta disconnect my spark plug for flamethrower wafers. All right, so here's a better look of my cutout. So this is the valve that I have to switch my car for. I'm gonna let that dangle. All right, let's get to work building this boom tube. So getting rid of these side pipes and putting boom tubes on means we're losing the flamethrower capabilities. But we made sure to give it a last hurrah. When we take off my current side pipes, I'm gonna be losing one of the best features I've ever done in this car. It's flame shooting capabilities. I think as a little farewell before we get rid of it, we should shoot some fucking flames. And I got a little trick up my sleeve. Okay, let's test it out. So this is normal flames. Okay, so that was pretty cool, right? Well, we got some magic paste. Oh, it's gotten on my finger. Got on my finger. The instructions say to mix this thoroughly. This stuff stinks. Probably not supposed to be breathing this in. Here we go. So now, put a nice thick layer on the inside of the pipe. This might be too much. I don't know, I've never done this before. We're gonna have to see how this works. Okay, now that your pipe is fully lathered up, let's do round 2. So it says in the instructions, sometimes you have to go really deep. So let's do that. Hopefully this isn't flammable. Okay, let's see how that looks. This is round 4. All right, well, we've done this about 3 times and it doesn't seem to be working too well. So I think I'm just gonna dump the rest of this entire bottle down my exhaust pipe and hopefully it'll be green then. We're just gonna scoop it in. Wow, that was like the whole bottle. It's literally dripping out of the exhaust pipe now. Get it real nice and wet, getting all over my fingers. I'm sure this is terrible for your skin. I mean, I pretty much emptied the bottle. So this is either gonna, well, we should get a fire extinguisher handy. Safety second, right? I mean, the bottle's like empty. Like there's nothing left in there. Okay, well that's it. So if this doesn't work, then this shit's a bust. So the first few times I put a couple scoops of that fluid, and this is the 4th or 5th time, and I put half the bottle. So if this doesn't give us the result we wanted, then it's not my fault. Okay, back to the boom tubes. Okay, so I quickly just mocked up a cardboard template, I guess. This is the old side pipe. We're gonna cut it right around here, and then this will lay over just like that. And when you're underneath the car, it's gonna look kind of like this. So that's like roughly the layout of how it used to be. With the boom tubes, it's gonna sit about like that. Then you'll see the channels in the exhaust right here. These are where all the holes will be. Let's turn this thing into metal. Okay, first things first, we gotta cut off the part we don't need. Well, there we go. It's not the cleanest cut. We're gonna clean it up. Ideally, you'd be using like a bandsaw or maybe even like a reciprocating saw, but we're doing this with an angle grinder because that's all we have. So there's our cut. I would say let's go mock it up on the car, get some angles, then we can start welding on our first piece. So the first piece that we're going to be cutting out of this sheet metal is this piece right here. And that is where the existing pipe will weld onto. So we need to be precise. And skadoosh. You know, it's not perfect, but hand cutting with the angle grinder, I think that's pretty good. So essentially, this will be the back of our box, like so. Now we gotta drill in a 2.5-inch hole. We'll be good to go. We mark this hole. Now we're gonna take our Hercules Harbor Freight Special and drill into it. There's a very good chance this wood's gonna get away from me and hit you in the balls. So you may wanna stand back. Or hit me in the balls. Come on! We're so close. On you. Oh. There we go.
So we're trying to figure out how to clock this piece so that it's level with the bottom of the car.
I think we might have to just go with an eyeball measurement on this one.
So here's the deal. We have very little space under the General T because we have a muffler system. This goes to the cutout, which shoots out the side. And because we're confined on space, we're gonna have to do it the long and hard way, which is each and every single piece of this custom boom tube that we're making, we're gonna have to put on the car, pull it back here, weld it, put it back on the car, bring it back here, cut, weld, rinse and repeat until it's done. So right now we have that plate, and basically we're just gonna weld this on, make sure it's all good. We're not gonna fully weld it on, we're just gonna put some strong tacks, go measure it, bring it back, and then continue with the build. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Oh, and by the way, I'm not a welder or a very experienced one either. I'm just an idiot with a Harbor Freight, cheapest fucking welder they have. This is a very thin metal, and when you're welding thin metal to a little bit thicker metal, it gets hard because you could burn holes. So we have it turned down to the lowest setting possible, and luckily this is on the inside, so my welds are gonna be yucky looking, but it's fine, you won't see them. What matters is that it holds up. And so far, my exhaust system that I custom welded for Lenny's car held up for over a year, so what can I say? Maybe I was born to be a welder.
Okay.
So far, our medieval torture device is coming together. So as you can tell, we have our little side pipe, which goes to what is so far the boom tube. We've got much more to go. A boom tube is more than just a, a weapon.
Looks like a straight guillotine.
Yeah, it looks like a guillotine. So basically, we just cut off this piece of metal right here.
So essentially, that piece of metal will close in for the 3 points right there. Then we can go take it over to the Jag and test fit it once again and kind of just make sure we're all on track.
Yep.
All right, let's get welding. Okay, a little update. The boom tube is coming along nicely. So we've gotten its general shape now, and this is kind of what it looks like on the car. It'll sit kind of like that, but obviously a lot closer up. So now we gotta do the fun stuff, the actual boom tube stuff, and build all of the internals. So let me show you. So now we gotta actually build the slats and the little pipes in there, and the reason that NASCARs have this is that they run super rich, so they end up popping a lot. So this is specifically designed to help baffle that sound, and as a byproduct to help really create that really unique NASCAR sound, which is what we're trying to get out of this car. So let's build the internals, slap it on, and let's get going. We're getting close. Here we have this long tube of steel that I'm gonna cut in 2.5-inch slots, and they're gonna go inside the boom tube. I wanna do 3. With the size and form factor that we have, I think that'll work really well. Let's chop her up. Okay, so I gotta cut a few more of these. There we go, now it's cooled down. So essentially they're gonna go in here in a configuration, custom secret configuration, I can't tell you. And it'll help create that custom sound that we're looking for. So let me go cut a few more and I'll have Noah weld this on.
Now you can go on Facebook Marketplace and look for boom tubes and look and look and look. Trust me, I've tried and not find anything. Or get your hands dirty and build your own boom tubes. And we're gonna build the innards of a true boom tube.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna start marking the fins. So we need 2 fins to complete the design, and then we can close it up with a top, and then we're all done. Gosh, dude, look like a mad scientist right now. Kind of look like Borat right now, Noah, with my haircut, with my hair like this.
We have officially created our own boom tube. And if you wanna see what it looks like inside, can't show you, it's a secret. Just kidding. Here we go. That is what it looks like. Now, I don't understand the exact science behind it, but I don't need to know the science. I saw some videos on YouTube. It should be good enough for me. So basically, we just gotta zippity zappity, get this thing on the fucking car.
All right, guys, one side is pretty much done. I gotta finish it up a little bit, but I've already done the hard work of cutting out basically most of the other structural panels for the other boom tube on the other side of the car. So I'm gonna tack this together and then we can get started on the internals of this one. We'll go quick so I won't bore you. Okay, so a few tacks later and boom, we have the two sides of the other boom tube welded on. Now I'm gonna take my backing plate, which I made a little bit taller because I'm gonna cut it off later. Can't wait to go out and rip this thing. It's gonna sound so good. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes and the second boom tube is nearly finished. If you take a look, we have these little pipe baffles. We got the fins done. So it's just a matter of taking the top piece that I've already cut and welding it on. Boom! Boom tubes are done, dude. You know, they're not perfect, but hey, they're homemade and they were a lot cheaper than if I were to buy them. So as you can see, I cleaned up some of the welds and they look, I mean, this thing's ready to bolt on, ready to test this thing out. I love the way it looks.
I love it too. Let's fucking put these things on, dude.
Comment down below, should I paint these or should I leave them raw? Let me know. All right, as you can see, we bolted the NASCAR boom tubes onto the Jag and we took it out to Mexico because we're gonna flippin' rip this thing. So you guys can hear it, hear what it sounds like. All right, let's fire it up. Because I promised you donuts in the last video, some real donuts, I got you.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was really fun to make. We got something awesome coming for you next, so stay tuned.